Hey guys, welcome to another session of Tips and Change, where in this series we go through kind of like my thoughts and my tips to help inform maybe mid-game players pushing to the end game and having this kind of wider range thinking about your account and planning for the end game. If you have been following along, thanks for watching, and hopefully this will be just as informative as the other ones. And now I understand that in every single video, every single opinion, we're gonna have, differing opinions, and you know what, this is why the saying to each their own is a saying. But in this video I'm going to focus on what I think is going to be the best or most worthwhile craft if we're looking at this new crafting event. So right now this is named Super Made Queen Super Event. I think that this name could change, but regardless, this icon crafting event seems to be, it's going to be integrated pretty deeply into the game. I believe that Smilegate is going to, this is a trial run, and Smilegate is going to implement something like this more often. Like however they want to time gate it, we have basically a month to grind the points needed and use the points to create the gear you want. On top of that, it costs you 50 points, so 50 energy. At the point of this recording, the system works as if you spend 1 energy, it gives you 1 point. So for 50 energy, you get to roll the substats. As you can see in the categories there, a set amount of points is to select the set, a set amount of points is to select the equipment part, and that means the piece, helmet, ring, chest, sword, whatever. And then the main stat selection also costs some points, and then changing your substats costs 50 points. Each time you want to refresh it, it costs 50 points. And really, what this ends up being is that steps 1 to 3 will take a chunk of points, and step 4 will be where the rest of the grind comes. This video is going to be talking about what I believe it should be the bread and butter or the best craft. So I think this video is going to mainly help players who have that question, well, what should I craft? If you already have something in mind, let's say you're lacking speed set, speed boots, you're gonna craft that. You're not gonna listen to this video and change your mind. If you're missing attack rings, you're gonna do the same. If you're missing crit damage next, you're gonna do the same. You're not gonna listen to this. So the video's purpose is not to tell you what you should be doing. The video's purpose is telling you what I believe is the best value in terms of right now and like what we need as stats or main stats on heroes as a whole. Okay, so I know there's gonna be different opinions. I'm okay with that. Don't worry, leave it in the comments down below. But I do believe that I want to address this because this system is so well designed. The UI is really, really well done, by the way. And it feels like it's gonna be a permanent spot. However time gated, however wide the time gate will be, we're going to be seeing this more often. It might have adjustments in the future, so this video may not be that as important, but as I do plan to release this video while the month of this event goes on, hopefully if you're watching this, it will inform you. So first things first, I want to explain before I get to the conclusion, I want to explain how I'm going to deduce this. So we have a couple ways to obtain gear, right? So instead of talking about hell raid and buying the chest and getting the drops there, let's talk about our primary source of gaining gear, and that is to hunt. And in the hunt, if you get lucky, you get drops. That's great as well. So that's we're gonna start from like the most RNG, right? So you do your hunt 13s, you're gonna get an 85. That's perfect. Now in that, you're gonna get blue gear, you're gonna get purple gear, you're gonna get red gear, and you also don't know what the hunt is gonna drop. Then of course you have the next level of RNG. You have crafting. And crafting, this is a bread and butter. Everybody knows this, of course. In crafting, of course, you lower the RNG to the piece you want, right? And then now Smilegate has created, or Epic 7 has created, equipment conversion. And we've had this for a while, and it's already seen improvements, which is really good. You can not only craft what part you want or convert, you also get the set you want. So in terms of when you're crafting, you get the sets that are offered by the actual boss or the hunt itself. In this, you can actually force it to be, a speed set or an immunity set, and you can also choose the main stat, and the only thing you can't choose is the substat. Now the main stat is pretty expensive in terms of the conversion. So if you are a mid-game player and you're just like, oh, Jagan, I don't really suffer, I have a lot of these selection gems. That used to be me. When you start really crafting gear, when you really start concentrating on gear, these boxes, these selection boxes become so expensive. I'm gonna make a separate tips and change video on what I think about the conversion in general, in terms of like, you know, how important it is and all that stuff. But based on what you get here, so there's a couple ways to get these gems. You can use the transmit shop. So if you're purely free to play, I would still highly recommend you get it. So in the transmit shop here, once a week, I highly recommend it. And like the best way honestly to get this silver transmit stone is to sell the Terra Phantasmas, so the purple ones. So however you get them from events or whatever, transmit them for the silver transmit stones. That's the best way. And then guild shop. So you want to make sure that every week you are clearing this out. You gotta buy this one for the random one, and you take what you get, that's fine. And then you also take this as well. Like you basically, if you have the armbands and you're not buying the artifacts and stuff, definitely take it. It's very important, especially if you are looking into gearing. And then lastly, world boss you get them as rewards for clearing it, and you also get them as potential drops, but those are all RNG. And now one of the things that will lead to my conclusion of, you know, which piece to craft is based on the fact that, let's say you have some selection gems, but let's say the RNG aspect, like world boss drops and the world boss rewards and stuff like that, you're getting all of them at an equal probability. Okay, so that's the assumption going forward. You're getting all of them at equal probability. So if you're getting all of them at equal probability, and you should know that if you're going to craft this event, do not craft left side gear. So don't craft sword, helmet, chest, because those if you're actually crafting, those are actually cheaper in terms of material, your mats, and also gold. So you don't really want to use that selector. I'm gonna call it equipment selector, really. You don't want to use the selector on the left side gear. People, I think some people think that helmet might be good because helmet has more substats. Sword and chest has the least substats. The helmet has a lot, so the RNG and stuff like that. But still, like I said, this is cheaper. This is cheaper, so you don't want to use something that's actually more valuable on a cheaper piece of equipment. So just craft and convert the flat stat gems that you get for RNG for your left side gear. So that gives us only the right side gear now. Now what, you know, you got 3, but again, assuming that you get these gems at an exact probability for drop rate, really the only boot you want to convert is speed. Okay, you might want to build a hero with maybe an HP main boot or even attack boot like Celine or something like that. But regardless, again, this could be covered in my other video for just equipment conversion in general, but really you only should be aiming for speed. So in terms of like, if you get HP, you got attack, and you got some speed, the boot you should not waste the gems for these on a boot. It should be speed only. So if it's only speed, that means all of your boots most likely will be speed set, so you shouldn't also use that here. You shouldn't use that here. You should use this then now deduced to only the accessories. Hopefully I'm making sense right now, because if you're getting all the conversion gems at equal rate, and again that's an assumption, the probability, if you're getting at equal rate and you get the speed boots, you're already going to convert to speed boots. But on the accessories themselves, again, we can do further deducing. On the accessories themselves, we got a couple. Effect resist and effectiveness are ring only. So again, if you get these at the exact same rate, you're already gonna gonna craft them, or you're already gonna convert them, because these substats, or sorry, these main stats can only go to ring. These main stats, crit damage and crit rate, can only go to the neck. So ideally, you're not crafting something that you would already put these gems towards. So again, in an ideal world, in terms of there's no RNG, everything is at equal probability. Right now, what we have established is that you're going to be getting crit damage, crit rate, effectiveness, and effect resist at pretty much equal amounts, and speed boots at pretty much equal amounts. We're talking about conversion. The only thing that is shared between the two, the neck and the ring, is health, defense, and attack. Now, majority of the time, people don't really convert attack necks. I'm saying majority, because if it's a DPS, most DPS run crit damage and crit rate. So let's remove attack. So attack then is mainly used on rings. All right, mainly used on rings. So it leaves us with two main stats left that have, I would say, equal weighing in terms of conversion. When you are using your health fount, when you are using your defense fount, hopefully you're not putting that into a boot. Like I said, I think that's a lower value. The speed essence should be the only one that goes into the boot. If these are at exact same probabilities, drop rate, and these are rare, right? You want to put them into a piece of gear that would require it more often, and that would be the neck, the necklace, and the ring. Health and defense. Health and defense. We do currently in the meta have more heroes that scale off HP and versus defense. And the other aspect is that more heroes have generally a need for higher HP than they do defense. And I'm talking about in terms of weighing the value of the substats. If you have a defense main percent, let's say a ring, if you have a defense main ring and you have a substat of percent health and flat health, you're actually gaining less value because you have the flat health. But if you have an HP main ring, again, using that example, and you have defense percent and flat defense, you actually get more value out of it. It could be another video I'll make in terms of flat defense. Has really high value in this game. Flat HP actually has very diminishing returns unless you're going for like a very high HP knight, let's say Blue Crow. You want to hit like 29,000, 30,000 HP. Then you want to combine main stat health with a lot of flat health, etc., etc. But very rarely is flat health a very big benefit in terms of stats. So that being said, hopefully it hasn't been really difficult to follow. That being said, that makes us deduce down to HP. I think HP is the most important. Again, weighing that you have a lot of speed boots, you have a lot of attack. Your gear is very balanced, right? So the purpose again of this video is that in the case of your account is very balanced, what should you craft for here? And my argument is that I think you should be going for main stat HP ring, even more over than HP main stat necklace. Now that comes to the other portion. This is generally on the way that the game has designed heroes and the meta. If you go for a main stat defense necklace, generally you probably for both, whether on necklace or on the ring, ideally your substat you want to roll, you want to have some speed in there. You do. But the thing is though, the HP I think serves higher value because you can end up with more options in terms of substats, filling out more roles in the game. So let's say a Falcon O'Cleary has needs a really generally Falcon O'Cleary as a hero wants kind of like maybe a defense main with a health main to balance out that EHP. Some heroes want health and health. Some people, some heroes want health and crit damage. So health ring, crit damage neck. So for like bruisers or something like that, or health ring with crit rate neck for bruisers as well. Depends on the substat rule. And so the ring itself, I think, becomes the kind of the universal place to use these two. So like, you know, except like maybe ML Lilibet or F Maya who want defense, like I said, that more heroes would require HP neck, HP ring, but more so the HP ring becomes more important. I know that there are people who run HP main stat Landies for more bulkier Landies, HP main stat Spec Tenny, which still can get like 3.5k attack with triple S and very high attack rolls everywhere else. But you get that extra bulk that you need. SSBs right now, a lot of people running like double HP right side, so like an HP boot, HP neck, or HP ring with like a defense main on the right side as well. So a lot of heroes end up needing the HP. Soul Weavers, of course, really benefit from high HP. Most of them heal based on their own HP. Some of them, of course, heal on the target's HP. So then again, HP becomes very important. Bruisers that are HP scaling, and we do have more of them in game right now, will require HP main stat ring. And that could be a crit damage type bruiser like an Alencia, who else? Shu, a lot, right? And then we have the quote unquote the golden boys, people who build like a Tywin with like health and you have some crit damage, but then Last Rider Crow, true damage, ML haste, true damage. A lot more heroes end up needing the HP ring. So that's where my conclusion draws in terms of the versatility of HP main ring. And the only reason why I also suggest this is that remember that it does cost 50 energy or 50 points for you to re-roll the substats every time. So in that case, you want to lower the probability. Again, going back to that the whole purpose of this video is that you're balanced. You have all this gear, you have this event and it's time limited. You kind of want to bank, you kind of want a new piece of gear. You don't know what to get, and my argument is that the HP ones will have more value in terms of covers a wider variety of heroes. And then when you're rolling the substats and all your gear is balanced, you don't necessarily need the next Alencia ring, you don't necessarily need the next Soul Weaver ring, but you're just looking for a solid HP ring. And you roll the substats, whether it rolls offensive or very defensive type of substats, it's still usable. So like when you see a perfect set of substats, let's say you roll a health ring, the crit damage, crit rate, speed, and maybe defense percent, it's just like, okay, I'll take that because it has perfect subs and it has high subs, and then you'll just take that. Or you roll one and it's like, speed, effect resistance, flat defense, or percent defense or something like that, and just like, okay, I'll roll that as well. So it's just more of like catching the biggest variety of a substat combination you can, in order so that you don't have to keep refreshing it over and over as much. I would say as much. So example, if you went with a crit damage neck, I mean, you can make it a bruisery damage neck, crit damage neck, but then you can also make it a pure DPS crit damage neck, but you can't make it like a healer necklace, right? You can't make it like a Last Rider Crow necklace with a crit damage main. So you're already limiting the pool. So that's basically it. Hopefully that actually made some sense. It makes sense in my mind. In my opinion, again, like I said, if you are missing crit damage necks, why the heck not just do it, right? But again, I'm posing this as we do have the conversion system in, and if your RNG is the probability of getting every single one of these main stats is at the exact same value, then crit damage goes into necks. It's like easy, right? only one choice, but HP gets split among the two, right? And then I think that in the necklace department, it lowers the I mean, people can run a HP main Alencia, for example. You don't have to run a crit damage one. But I'm just saying that there are just cases where you don't want to go double HP for a bruiser, like Ravi, like Fire Ravi or something like that. Maybe you still want a HP main ring, but then a crit damage neck or a crit rate neck or something like that. But that's just from my experience. Anyways, so this one's gonna be a slightly shorter tips and change video, but regardless, I think that you know, I'm just trying to do my best to give you guys ideas and my reasoning behind it. So as you can tell, I haven't started the craft myself. I'm just gonna wait until I get there's a hunt buff coming basically, but I'm just gonna wait till after the hunt buff to start crafting. That way I'll have more points in the pool, so I can reroll the substats I want like on the fly. Of course, it doesn't matter what you end up with. If the substats roll low, that feels bad, man. But that's a whole other issue in and of itself. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. So I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. And you know, as always, if you guys have any comments or questions on these tips and change video, definitely leave it in the comments down below, and I will do my best to help out. If you guys have any ideas on what you want me to cover next, also leave that in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.